Hey, what's up, you guys? Am I in focus? I am. Welcome back to my home. Quite literally, we're in my living room. It's great, right? Lovely sofa, yellow cushion, there's a yellow chair out of frame. Matching colour schemed flowers. No, honestly, there's a colour scheme that runs through my house, which is like canary yellow and grey, but it's all different shades and shades and gradients. I live for it, honestly. And I'm currently in grey, in a grey blanket, because it's cold. No, so today, I want to do, the thing that I get asked the most, probably like 30, 40, 50 times, after every fucking video by different people, is the cost. And so today I want to make a video on the cost of being transgender. And this is something really you have to think about, and it's something that affects a lot of people because not everyone is lucky as I am. I have a decent job, I have a full-time decent job, I have a nice house, you know, I'm able to pay for things that I want in life. I am broke as fuck, don't get me wrong, like, you know, transitioning has made me poor. If I hadn't have transitioned, I would be driving the nicest Mercedes and live in a nicer home in, you know, South London or some bullshit. Oh, fuck it. Is South London a nice area? I don't even know. I don't know London very well. But I'm from the Midlands, which Londoners think is north. But anyway, yes, the costs. I ramble so much. So the true cost of transitioning. Off the bat, I have spent probably close to £21,000 to £22,000 transitioning. Let's see how much that is in different currencies. Also, this is not a planned video. I was like recording a different video that I just didn't like the way it was coming out, so I just scrapped it. But let's do 22k in Great British pound to USD. So for anybody in the States, I spent about $28,000, $28,800, so close to $29,000. That's so much money. Oh. In the past 3 years. It's not even a full 3 years, like 2.5 or something, I don't even know. So October, November, January, February, March, April, May. What month are we in? April, 5 months. So that's 2 years and 5 months. I have spent quite about 23,000. And let me break that down for you. A big chunk of that is honestly my surgery. So I know I've always been like, oh, email the surgeon or whatever, because I don't like talking about money and things like that, but seeing as it's the question that I get asked the most, I thought I may as well. So I paid in total, oh, it's all in dollars, by the way. I don't know why it's in dollars. In India, for some reason, if you're an international patient, they just charge you in dollars as like a universal thing, and I'm like, darling, what's it in pounds? So I'll tell you it in pounds in total afterwards because it'll make sense, I promise. So I spent for my breast augmentation, I spent $3,000 US. For my gender reassignment surgery, I spent $7,300 US. The additional charges that come with that is $50 per day that you stay in the hospital. So I stayed there for 5 weeks, which is about 35 days. So it cost me $1,750 US. My surgical bra, which is not what I'm wearing, cost $60. Do you know what? That thing cost $60 and it's a bag of shit. I hate it. Like, it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world. I fucking hated it. Medicines medical like shit after surgery is about $300 US. Food charges are per consumption, but I paid $200 US. I didn't have $200 US worth of food. I didn't, as previous video states, I didn't eat for several weeks. And then investigations are $200 US. So investigations being blood work and anything else that needs to happen. So that makes a grand total of $12,810 US dollars. Now, in order to pay for that, I didn't have 13,000 US dollars lying around. So I took out a loan with my bank. I've been with the same bank since I was a child. So I took out a loan, and my loan was of £13,500. So 13.5 grand, your like UK money, is what I took out. And that covered everything from flights to the surgery and, you know, all that other stuff. And, you know, my flights were a little bit more expensive because I flew business class, because A, a very long trip, and B, you know, it was, I only flew back business class because, you know, surgery-wise, I wanted to be able to lie down because, you know, sitting up is still not the most comfortable thing in the world. So, yeah, it was a lot of money. But what comes along with a loan is interest, and my total interest equated to about £16,000. So I was paying I still am paying it off every month. So yeah, so that was £16,000 in regards to the sort of additional like 2.5 grand for whatever, the interest. So 16k off that 22 immediately. And then there was everything on top of that. I had a few private therapy sessions. Well, not therapy, they were more so like I saw a gender specialist, and I went to Harley Street in London, which is a very premium sort of price tag that comes with Harley Street. You know, and that's, you pay for the premium. So I paid like £175, like almost per session. Well, £175 for like, yeah, per session, and like referral. So once my therapist had confirmed that, you know, yeah, you're trans, you're most definitely trans, like, you know, here's a letter of referral, and I was referred to Dr. Helen and Mike Weberly, known as the Gender GP, based in the UK, and they are a private sort of GP, and they prescribe you medications, etc., etc. Now, so there was the transfer fee for that, and then when you join up with the Gender GP, you know, based on your salary or whatever, they give you a quote, they give you a cost of like joining up type thing. So there's like an initial payment you have to give them before they can start like seeing you. And then you have to be, you have to have a telephone conversation with one of their therapists, which costs money. And then, you know, you have a monthly subscription, which is £30 a month, to them, in order to keep using their services. And, you know, then I have a share care agreement, so I pay, like, you know, I have like a prepaid prescription card in the UK, which is great. So if you are on hormones and you get quite a lot of like medications, which I do, so like I have different medications for like my general health, and then I have, you know, medications for my transition. So in a month it can get quite expensive in regards to, you know, all these prescriptions. So a prepaid card is great because you only pay £10 a month, like £10 something a month, and that covers you for all your prescriptions. It's great. I think more people should do it. It saves you a lot of money. Doesn't save the NHS a lot of money, but, you know, I'm paying a premium either side anyway, so what does it matter? Yeah, and everything adds up. And you know, I've gotten 12 sessions of laser on my face, and I needed to get that because my dysphoria was so bad. It really affected my health, my mental health anyway. And yeah, so that costs a lot of money, and I still need more. So before you realize, a lot of money gets racked up. Thinking about it, it's actually probably it's a lot of money. I don't like thinking about how much money I've spent because I forgot that I just factored in everything medical, including laser. But I realized I've spent quite a bit of money on clothes, because, you know, I had to throw away an entire wardrobe, and people don't realize that's a lot of money. I had suits, I had expensive shirts, like, you know, I wore Ralph Lauren, I had like French Connection, I had Armani, I wore quite a lot of designer crap, and it's all male, and it does not fit me now, definitely, like nothing fits up here, like, so I had to buy a brand new wardrobe, and the cost of being trans is high, and I'm lucky enough that I've been able to afford it to an extent. You know, it's a lot of it is done via like, oh, credit. I'll put it on my credit card, you know, and I'll pay it off later. But I have the ability to do that because I have great credit. You know, I've worked since I was 17, and you know, I built up my credit from a young age because that's what I was taught to do. So I have great credit, so I can afford to like have a really high credit limit on my credit cards. It's good in the sense that, yay, I can pay for my laser and I can buy a brand new wardrobe, and you know, I don't have to worry about having the money right now. But it's also meant that, like, you know, every month I now have to pay off like huge chunks of money because it's going on my transition, which, you know, it is what it is. It's life. I made my choices and now I'm dealing with them. But would I be here? Would I be sitting here without doing that? No. I think that without being able to do everything that I've done, I would have gotten to a point where I didn't want to live anymore. And that's a scary thought, to think that just because I had access to something as stupid as a credit card, and was able to buy stuff and pay for things, that, you know, it's crazy. Oh, sorry, I'm just kicking the camera stand. Yeah. Transitioning is expensive. Not everyone has the money to do it. This is why the trans suicide rate is so high. And I think it comes down to money. And, you know, realistically, it comes down to the NHS. It comes down to the government, because let's be honest, legislation in the UK around trans rights and, you know, trans, like, people getting seen via the NHS, it's fucking ridiculous. I was referred to a gender identity clinic in October of 2016, the end of October 2016. I am yet to receive any confirmation about anything. It's 2019 at the moment. It's been 3 fucking years. In a couple of months, it'll be 3 years exactly. And I'm yet to hear anything back from them. And in those 3 years, I've not only started hormones, I've transitioned in the sense of my physical transition. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. So the lack of funding in the NHS, there's so much going on behind the scenes, and I think the government is to blame. So yeah, the government and money, that's what it comes down to. But yes, I've sort of rambled on enough. Yeah, transitioning is expensive. It's really hypocritical for me to say this, but don't push your finances completely to the limit, because it's not worth it in the long run. Because you're then worrying about money issues and then instead of worrying about your, you know, gender dysphoria, you're worrying about money issues, which are equally as bad in the sense of can push someone over the edge. So yeah, take things gradually. If you're starting to see the gender GP, perfect. Start seeing the gender GP. You know, be smart about clothing. You know, raid Primark, which is what I did. I love Primark. I don't love Primark. It's okay. Like, you know, starter off wardrobe, it's brilliant. Like, you know, you have your starter wardrobe when you first start transitioning, and then you can progress to having nicer things afterwards, which is what I did and am doing. I can't tell if there's hair or like if there's the plant sticking out. I couldn't. But yes, transitioning has a high cost, and it's not easy. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, I ramble. It's far too much. So that's the end of this video. It's hitting like 13, 14 minutes long. So I'll wrap up there. Yeah. Stalk my socials, like, comment, and subscribe. You know, subscribe to the channel, become part of the family, come chill with me on a weekly basis. I'll be talking about the most random shit ever. Once I start, you know, there's more fun content to come in the sense of like transition stuff, like hot topics and shit, and you know, more LGBTQI focused stuff. It'll be fun, it'll be great. But yeah, so stalk socials, you know, you have Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter below. Hit me up on those, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye!